myself and about my past relationships, about my healing process, and like why I do the things that I do, and just like, everything like that. So, where do I even start? With some sounds to make it easy. It's very hard to talk about trauma. It's very hard to talk about things that happened to us in our past, and sometimes we think we're talking about it, but we're really not talking about it in the way that it like deeply wounded our soul type of way. You know what I mean? Like, you go, oh yeah, like this person's my ex, like yeah, we used to, but then you don't actually reflect on the relationship because you're so focused on like shutting it out, getting it out of your mind, and moving on. But the thing about trauma, I think, at least for like relationships, I don't have much experience in other types of trauma, mainly just like emotional trauma, feeling abandonment issues from my dad, like choosing to be a man that travels all of the time for work and never like wanted to get intimate or close, in the sense of like building relationships with his kids and like caring and supporting emotionally. It was only financially. So, you take on your childhood trauma, and it may be as small as your dad not being around or as big as your dad not being around. Like, the thing that I'm learning is that there's a spectrum, and it doesn't matter what end of it you're on. Like, all of it is valid trauma, all of it is valid experiences and things that happen to you that are shaping you into the person you are today. And that's the thing. I started watching the movie Inside Out, Pixar, I'm pretty sure it was on Disney Plus, but I got kind of bored throughout it. I was like, okay, this shit's too expected, so I just stopped it. But anyways, the part about core memories, and like these core memories are the memories that don't go anywhere. They stick with you forever. They're moments that shape you, that change you, that, kind of direct the rest of your life course until you awaken and realize that those core memories are just data, they're information. They help us understand, not even understand, they just kind of shape us into who we become. So if you find yourself getting into toxic relationships where people are not valuing you and you don't even value yourself, like, that is part of these core memories that are just deep within you. And maybe it's like accumulated stuff, like the way that your dad was to you. I'm just gonna talk on my experiences because that's all that I have to offer. But like, I didn't realize how much my relationship, or lack thereof, with my father would have affected my romantic relationships. And I realized that my most recent relationship, it wasn't that bad. Like, the breaking up kind of stage, I feel like the LED lights are like flickering. I don't know why that's happening. That's very weird. What was I saying? Oh, the first breakup from that relationship, that's the one where I experienced all the trauma and abuse. And, I really shouldn't even be doing parentheses, because physical trauma is not the only form of trauma. Emotional trauma is real as fuck. Manipulation, real as fuck. And you can be a victim of it. You can be a victim of all kinds of trauma. And I think the thing is, it kind of does start with your parents. And I think it's important for a father figure to, like, show his daughter what boundaries mean, what that is, and like, not just say yes to everybody. And just, there's certain values that I see that my dad did not instill in me yet. Like, if he did, maybe I wouldn't have gone through all this shit that I went through. But I can't place the blame on him, right? Because I'm a part of the equation too. Like, they're decisions that I made, and it's not necessarily the parent's full responsibility to show up like perfectly for you at all times. Like, that's just not possible. If they have a harder time understanding you, or if they didn't really get to know you or value or appreciate you on the levels that you needed, they just provided to you what your parents thought they needed to give you, and it's not universal. That phrase when they're like, oh, parenting doesn't come with a handbook, LOL. I think it's problematic that it doesn't come with a handbook. I think there needs to be some kind of standard, or some kind of like good sit there and be like, who am I? What do I have to offer the world? What are my skills? What are my talents? What do I love about myself? And what do I want to do? Like, taking back your power. And if you have never done that like your whole life, then all of a sudden you need to take back your power because like your therapist says you need to, or you know that that's something you need to do. Like, it's not as easy as just being like, oh girl power, like we're just gonna keep it moving and pushing and trucking, and we're just gonna get through this, and we're gonna move on, and we're gonna, you know, work. Like, my next relationship wasn't as good as it could have been because I was projecting my damage from my previous relationship, and the second guy was actually a really great guy and loved me so much, yet I could not see it because I thought love was my first relationship. That is such a lie. That was not love. And I can say that now looking back. It was sex, it was physical, and it was manipulative. He made me feel lesser about myself. I did not feel empowered. I felt like it was his way or the highway, and I was just sitting there for the ride. And I feel like I was manipulated, and he has bipolar, and if you guys struggle with that or know anyone that does, it is a really hard mental illness, to be honest, disease. Like, it doesn't go away, and he wasn't on medication, and I don't know that medication is even the answer for that. Like, I'm not very educated in that world other than just secondhand, like, or firsthand experiencing and dating somebody with it. But it's like I never knew what kind of mood he was going to be in or how he was going to treat me, or like whenever he was good, he was really good, and like he would tell me things like he wants to marry me, he wants to be with me, he wants to have kids with me one day, and like our kids, and like it made me think like, oh wow, yeah, there's hope, there's a future with this guy, like oh my gosh. And then he would go cheat on me and be with other people, and it was like at fraternity parties in a fucking bathroom. Like, what the fuck? Like, you would have thought that that would have been enough for me to like give up on the man and run away. I say man strongly. It was more of a boy, a man-child boy. He definitely dealt with like narcissistic, personality disorder, like lots of different stuff that just made him think that he was superior to everybody else, and he felt like he was a trend setter, and like people were gonna follow his direction, and like he just had this like overly exaggerated view on himself, so it made me view him in that way, and then it made me feel like way less, and I didn't do anything for myself. My life was all about him. So then now into the new relationship, I pretty much self-destructed it. I had extreme codependency issues. I was very attached to this guy. I would not leave him alone. But at the beginning of the relationship, I was very like not ready for it. I desperately wanted to be with somebody, and after coming out of this relationship with this like trash guy, like that really hurt me and really damaged me, like I just wanted to be loved, and like I couldn't trust the new guy. I couldn't imagine that he would actually want me, and he would want to choose me and like be with me above everybody else. So I would always have like insecurity issues, calling him out about shit on Instagram, like liking this girl's thing or whatever. And then like he would go out with his friends, and then I gave him this whole speech and this whole freak out attack, like why do you have to go, like I could not let him live and have his own life because I was so scared that he was gonna leave me. So I literally like moved in with him without even asking him. Like I just stayed there every single night, and part of me thinks that he did let me stay because he knew I was in such a low place, and like I don't know if he was afraid that I would just like go down a really bad path or something if he didn't keep an eye on me. But I think he did keep an eye on me, like looking back, and I know that that was his way of showing like love and care and how much he really does like value me. And I think he definitely saw the value in me before I saw it in me, and I see that too now, like looking back at it with him. Like I saw his value the whole way through, but I feel like he couldn't even see it, and I'm like, why can't you see your value? What the fuck? But now like it all makes sense, it's all clicking, and I'm like, it's because we had to go through things, we had to overcome things, we had to look back on it. And I think I was way more damaged from the first relationship than the second one, even though the second one hurt more. For 2 years, like I'm still in love with him, like I would marry him like tomorrow if I could. Like I love this man, very like touch and go. Like some days he'll be like in a good mood and he'll be willing to talk to you and whatever and like actually listen to what you're saying, but most of the time he's selfish and doesn't give a shit. Like you can just tell like through his tone of voice and like his dismissiveness, and he's always been like this. Like this is nothing new, and he just cares a lot more about his life and what he's doing, and he just like throws us money, but like he's very controlling about it. Like he can't even just like provide for us, he's gotta make us like earn it. And like, you've done this whole family so wrong, and like had an affair with my mom, like all this crazy shit for like 10 years, and is still like putting up a fight and just like can't own up to shit. So like I'm trying to heal that connection with my dad. I'm trying, because it's really hard knowing that I didn't and I don't have a dad that I would ideally go on the street and choose. But now I know, like with my partner in the future, like how he is going to be as a father is going to be really important to me and really necessary, and it's going to be something that I need to have for my kids. So like part of me is glad that I did go through all the shit that I went through, because now I know like the next relationship, the next moment that I'm ready to like commit to somebody, like I'll need to know like what I actually want, and like not even that, just what I deserve, like what my heart and soul needs. I don't want a man that travels 24/7. I had that with my dad. I don't want that. So I'm glad that I know that, like going in. So those are just some examples. And we did not work on this at all, but I'm glad that I made this video and I just got that off my chest, because like, just to wrap it up, healing is a journey. A journey, ladies, men, and everyone in between. Fuck. Oh my god. It's a journey. And no matter what form it comes in, we all... I feel like my hair looks weird back here. Anyways. Like, at the end of the day, whatever we went through, it happened. And you don't need to compare yours to other people's. Oh, well, it's not as bad as XYZ. Okay, well, that doesn't mean it didn't hurt. That doesn't mean that whatever you went through doesn't matter. Like, it matters if it hurts you, if it hurts your soul, if it weighs heavy on you, if it's held you back, like if, you know what I mean? It's valid. It's legit. And you are the way you are because of your experiences and your past. So you kind of need to like own it and accept it and know that like it happened. And, but what you take from that is where the healing lies. Like, do you want to stay a victim to whatever happened to you? And like, I could harden my heart to the world. I could be a bitch. I could like just be so negative all the time. But like, I don't want that for myself. Like, I want better for myself. I want more for myself. And I'm not willing to let my past like control my future. So I still hold myself to a high standard. I hold my dreams to a high standard. And by high standard, I mean something that I genuinely love and feel proud of. And it's not all financial. Like, I want true love. I want love that's gonna last. I want to grow with somebody. I want to build with somebody. There's a lot of like foundational things and like stability that I never had growing up, or not in the way that I felt I needed. I was provided for, but not emotionally, and that's tough. So the only thing that I can do is I can give it to myself. I can't expect anybody else. I cannot expect anyone else to give everything to me and like deal with my shit for me, because that's not how life works. Like, you need to deal with your own shit, and it's frustrating, and some days you just don't want to, and it's exhausting to have to keep picking yourself back up over and over and like heal and like be a better person and like do good for the world and like all my values and stuff. That's what I choose to do. I don't have to, but I do. Like, I think that's part of like my purpose and my journey and like my healing and light work, and like I want to be a light to others and help others and make others feel like understood and empowered and learn how to truly love yourself, and not like social media's version of loving yourself. Like, I hate that shit. It's so fake. Like, you see so many people who act like they're not even going through a damn fucking thing, and they are. They are. So why not talk about it? Why not share? Like, I understand that everyone has their own blocks in life, and there's reasons why people don't want to share or like feel like they don't need to or whatever. But like, for me personally, I feel like shutting my mouth is the worst thing that I could do for this world and for myself. Like, this is my journaling. This is my special qualities about myself. And you know, the time is now, folks, right now. It is now to pick yourself up. You're gonna have to keep picking yourself up for the rest of your life, so you better get used to it. That's just the way of the game. Partners can't always do it. Your parents can't always do it. Friends can't always do it. So if you're the only bitch you got, you're the only bitch you got, and you gotta own that. Okay? I love you. I love you. I love you. You guys can do this. The healing journey, all of it. Take back your power today. That is the key lesson. Take back your damn power. Remember who you are, but not in a toxic, bad bitch way. Like, we're gonna go rub it in everyone's face and, like, just subtly take back your power. Take time for yourself. Calm down. Relax. But allow yourself to feel these feelings. Allow yourself to vent to whoever you need to. But don't let it become an addiction to vent, because that can change your reality too and just create so much negative shit. Like, at some point, we understand. I'm talking about myself. I talk to my mom all the time. I'm like, I'm so sorry I'm dumping on you, but like, I'm sure the bitch is like, okay, I get it, Madison. Like, that is enough talking about it. But she still cares about me. She still loves me. She still lets me vent. And I really appreciate that. So, like, there's a time and a place. But at the end of the day, I need to stop doing that, because I need to start focusing on myself again, my life, my journey, where I'm going, and figure this out for myself and, like, find hope. And I'm kind of at the point of, like, I'm ready to let go of control. I'm ready to stop, like, trying to, like, sift through the sand over and over and, like, dig up the same facts and the same information. Like, oh, this person's this way, this person's this way. Oh my god, look at all these qualities. They're doing the same shit over and over. Should I be surprised? No. Like, some people just don't change. Some people just, like, live with their toxins and their, like, toxicity and bad and negativity. Like, they let that become their heart, and then they're not open, and they're not willing to receive love, and, like, they treat people poorly, or they have, like, an inflated image of self. Like, it's exhausting. Like, just find you, boo. Find you. Find you. Come back home to yourself. It'll take time, and it's a process, but that is it for today's video. If you guys liked it in this vulnerability, let me know. I feel like I'm kind of putting on, like, a YouTube show right now, so I'm, like, being a little extra. And I'm feeling, I would lie if I said I'm feeling so good right now, you guys. Like, oh, I had so many realizations, but it doesn't take away from the fact, like, I'm still living with, like, my present reality. So don't just think that you have, you know, realization that your life is going to change, because that's just me giving you guys unrealistic expectations. It's a process. So patience is, like, a key here, but it's all right. We'll get through it. Big hugs. Y'all can keep coming back to this channel, and if you'd like more vulnerable content, please like the video, let me know. And I think this might be included in my, like, ASMR therapy playlist that I'm gonna make. It's just gonna be, like, a curated list of, like, rants and venting and just, like, life realization things. I would say a video